10
Yeah.
hours.
Hey, you guys. I was having so much fun talking with people on the back side here that I almost forgot to put me on so that you guys could all see us. We were just chatting. We were trying to figure out, you guys, because these tutors have done some amazing stuff with their online tutoring business. Every single one of these tutors was a part of our Jumpstart Your Online Tutoring Business Masterclass that just is finishing up as of tomorrow and has gone through the process to learn how to be able to get students. And I only started off with one simple promise. I said, your goal as you go through this program is to learn how to get one student or a whole lot more. Okay? Kept it simple because everybody's at a different place inside of their business. But being able to go through that process, we always have people that just like top the charts and are amazing. In fact, you guys, these tutors have gotten a total of at least 28 hours. We didn't figure out doing the math, but about 28 hours. We'll figure out the math by the end of this call, I tell you. 28 hours of online tutoring students between these 4 tutors that we have with us here today. So this is amazing. You're going to get to learn about each of these tutors, who they are, what they tutor, how they specifically got the students that they ended up getting. They're going to be sharing some secret tips with you, things that they learned as they went through the course that they think are important, and they'll be sharing their experience as they went through the course. What was the experience like for them? And next week we are going to be having a free training. It is called How to Create a Profitable Online Tutoring Business This Summer. It's going to be next week, Monday, May 10th. If you haven't had a chance to sign on up for it, click that link and join us. It is going to be awesome. Because you know what? Summertime is a time to be able to get students and to be able to build your business. So we're going to help you be able to do that. But before we do that, we are going to find out from each of these amazing tutors who they are a little bit more. So Danielle, we're going to start with you, Danielle. Tell us a little bit more about what you tutor, where you're from, all that great stuff, Danielle.
Yeah, so I tutor students who need help with the medical college admissions test. And I am a pre-medical student, and I'm from California.
Awesome. So you have nice weather.
Yeah, we do have nice weather.
We
Take
do
it
not
for
have
granted
nice
since
weather.
I grew up here.
You absolutely do. You know what? I personally invite you to come visit me anytime in Wisconsin that you like. It's raining today and it's cold, but don't let that, stop you.
They say that brutal weather builds character. So maybe that's why people in California are a little bit more soft.
Maybe, yeah. We're all hardcore here, people. We're all hardcore. We can handle negative 50-degree temperatures, okay? That's all
Exactly.
I'm saying.
That hardy Midwest temperament.
Yes. It's so funny. I did see a training one. I saw. I don't know if I was reading a book or it said like people in Wisconsin are harder workers than people in Florida because the weather's warmer down there. So it really kind of affects like their demeanor.
Mhm.
And I was
Yeah.
thinking, that's not something I would have ever thought about. So
No, I believe it.
sometimes people will hire people from Wisconsin over people from Florida because they think they're going to be a harder worker. But I know the people that I know in Florida, they're pretty hard workers. So I'm not throwing that out there. It's just something I read one time because of the weather. All right. So that's awesome. So what motivated you to want to help other people that are going to take this medical exam be able to take it?
So I took the MCAT twice and I struggled with the test. And after my second time taking it, I finally got a score that I was happy with. And I just wanted to help other students overcome similar obstacles that I encountered when I was studying for the test.
Yeah.
I realized a lot of it was just the process of it. I built a lot of good habits. I built new study habits. And I realized that these are habits that I can lean on when I'm in medical school.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it would be nice to have the opportunity to help other students build these same study habits so they could be more confident and they can be more competent when going into medical school.
Yeah. And how many, as you went through the Jumpstart class, how many students did you end up getting?
So I started with 8 students and I have 14 students now.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So you ended up in 8 weeks getting 6 new students.
6 new students. Mm-hmm.
That is incredible. And I can only imagine just how grateful they are that you put yourself out there so that they could find you and be able to get the help that they needed. So what were some of the strategies that worked for you to be able to put yourself in front of those particular students?
Yeah, so I started providing incentives for students to refer me to other students, refer other students to me. So I made like a little ad telling students that they would get a 15% discount for their monthly plans for every student they referred to me. Mm-hmm. And so as soon as I gave my current students that ad, I got 2 new students the following week. And then
awesome.
Also another strategy I used was actually on Wyzant. There's a lot of people who post about MCAT tutoring, probably like 10 to 15 people who post per day. Mm-hmm. And I would find my leads by messaging around like 5 to 10 people every day. And probably like 1 out of every 10 person I messaged would get back to me. But then when they would get back to me, we would schedule a free consultation. And then using what I learned in Jumpstart, I was able to close about 80% of the time.
Nice. That is amazing. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
deserves a boom cha in and of itself, because it's not about how many leads you can get if you can't turn them into clients, right?
Exactly.
And that's a big piece of it. So you guys, on the count of three, we're going to give Daniel a big, huge boom cha. 1, 2, 3. Boom cha! That
Also,
is exciting.
I want to say, like, before I was actually messaging students on Wisant before Jumpstart, and I was scheduling these consultations, but I would probably close like only like 20-40% of the time, a little bit less than half.
Yeah.
But after, I think it was like week 3 or week 4, where we learned a little bit about our sales pitch,
Yeah.
and then I watched some of your videos about how you were closing. That really helped, because I think I was always, during these consultation sessions, I never knew what to say. I was like, what is the best way to impress students? That was my mindset before.
Yeah.
But now I realized, like, it was ultimately just about listening to students and communicating that I understand their needs. And then
Yes.
that really helped me close these sales.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Esme just did a big boom chat inside of our chat here in YouTube for you as well.
Thank you, Esme.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, so inspiring. And I think, again, it just comes down to, like, you can get people coming through the funnel, but if we can't get them to say yes, then what's the point, right? Like,
Exactly.
you're gonna have to work so much harder in order to be able to get clients, and that's not the way that we really want to run our business. So
Mhm.
you have tools now that you're going to be able to utilize, like, forever.
Mhm.
Forever and ever. It doesn't even matter what business you have. Now that you know that secret tool of how to ask the right questions, you're going to be able to utilize that wherever you go in life. It's going to be so
Totally agree.
powerful. So,
Yeah,
so
everything I
powerful.
learned here, I can utilize later in the future after medical school as a doctor, maybe when I have my own private practice. Like, it's the
Mhm.
same thing as everything that I learned here, I can utilize there for my patients.
Yeah, I bet they don't. Do they teach, like, any marketing classes or anything in what you guys go through?
Unfortunately, they don't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, they
Mhm.
didn't. They don't for teachers either. They don't teach us how to sell ourselves
Right.
because we just, like, go someplace and we get a job. Like, we just go into a school, so there isn't really too much of a need for it. So,
Mhm.
I think once you do start learning some of these basic marketing tools, and even how you can use social media to increase your presence, it
Mhm.
can really make a huge impact on you. That is amazing. What tips would you offer people for that are thinking about, like, going through the Jumpstart program? What tips would you offer them, for those people that are on the fence?
Thinking about going through the Jumpstart program. Um, so tips as in like just tutoring, or tips on like should
You know what?
they?
Let's do both. Do tips on
Okay.
tutoring. Like, what are some tips that you've learned about tutoring, and then for advice that for tutors as they are thinking about, like, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this?
Mhm. So tips for tutoring, what I actually learned from Jumpstart, actually I think made me a better tutor, is I just started to become a better listener,
Mm.
really communicating that I'm understanding what they're saying through reflective listening. And then I think that's going a long way. Students really appreciate that. And also, to start Jumpstart, I would say, if I was really overwhelmed before I started Jumpstart. I didn't know where to start. Um, I didn't know where to post ads. I even remember emailing you like a couple months back, and I was like, hey, I just started tutoring. Should I post ads on Craigslist? Should I make my own website? But I think Jumpstart really um, sort of clarified things and gave me things to work on. So
Mhm.
after I knew what to work on, I would gain some momentum, and it would be easier to do the next task.
Mhm.
Also, just mindset wise, I always thought like finding success or running a business would take big, massive action, right? And that was always very intimidating. But the biggest thing I learned, is that really just small, consistent steps towards your goals is what's most important. So
Mhm.
I think ultimately, not only did it help my tutoring business, but it helped me build better habits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. And these are success habits that you'll be able to use wherever your journey takes you,
Mhm.
which is amazing. Awesome. Well, congratulations on your success. That is really, really fantastic. So excited for you and the success that you're having. You guys, we have Brian Colty in the house. Hey, Brian.
Hi, good morning or good afternoon.
Yeah, it is still morning here in Wisconsin. It's
Yeah.
probably afternoon for several folks that are joining us. Is it morning or afternoon for you, Brian? Where are you from?
Morning. I'm on the West Coast as well.
Okay.
Daniel's down in Southern California. I'm up in Northern California. Got the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. I live just across the Golden Gate Bridge north of San Francisco.
Oh, very cool. And tell us
Yeah.
more about your tutoring business, Brian.
So my background is I actually went through the process of becoming a credentialed teacher back many years ago, and could then diverged into technology and worked in technology for many years, and then started tutoring on the side about 5 years ago, about three to four students a week kind of situation. And I recently left my technology job in March and decided to tutor full time, and joined the Jumpstart at the same time, and started with 3 students and got 8 students during the Jumpstart, and I'm up to 11.
Oh my
So-
gosh, that's incredible. Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's amazing. Amazing, you guys. I mean, like, listen to this. Like in 8 weeks, that's like a student a week almost. That is really, really awesome. And did you think you'd be able to build your tutoring business that quickly?
No, I didn't think I'd be able to build it that quickly. The marketing side is where I'm needed the most growth on, and that and the confidence. I think the biggest thing that the course gave me was the confidence to put myself out there and value my time. And so I'm still learning. There's so many different marketing channels, but I used networking mostly, and posted some ads, and most of my things came through referrals and networking for now. Trying to build up my website presence and my Google My Business, and then just there's lots of I'm just going to start YouTube videos this summer, so lots of different avenues for marketing.
Yes, and that's really, really key.
Yeah,
Yeah, people can't hire us if they don't know we exist, right?
exactly.
But it's all about putting the right content out there too. So that's great that you're putting yourself in a space where you can learn those things that you need to be able to learn, so that you can continue to attract the students that were meant to work with you. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
So what has your experience been like as you've been now tutoring? Like you went from kind of corporate world a little bit into tutoring world. Any differences between those two places?
Absolutely. So the biggest thing I like about it is I've shifted my hours. So, corporate was 8 to 5. And so now I'm working more afternoons. And so I have free in the morning to go for a run or go for a swim or stuff like that. I'm also still doing a lot of, I'm doing marketing work in the morning, and I'm also doing prep work for the classes, for some of the classes that I haven't teach. I tutor, I have a wide variety. I tutor all the way from 7th grade math, pre-algebra, all the way up to pre-calculus. And so I've had to go back and refresh a little bit on some of the classes. Mainly statistics is a new class for me. So that's been different. And then having kind of control of my time, and it's been nice not having to work for yourself, to kind of to go all in, right? I mean, take a leap of, yeah.
You gotta have that, and you gotta believe in yourself. You have to know, and
Absolutely.
This is something that I share with everybody, is it is inevitable. If you continue to put that consistent in action that Daniel was talking about, that consistency, right? It's inevitable. And I remember Doria messaging us about like week 6 and week 7. And she was like, it happened, that inevitableness. Like, I got it. It happened. I'm sharing, you guys, by the way, I'm sharing Doria's story for very, very last. So you guys got to stick around so you can hear what happened to her, because it was amazing.
Yeah, you have to have faith. I mean, mine, you said, it was 8 over 8 weeks. It wasn't 1 a week. It would be like 0, 0, and then it would be 3, and then it would be 1, and then it'd be 4, so like it came in waves.
Yeah.
And so you have to have faith that the process is working and take consistent steps.
Yeah. And you can absolutely make it happen. Wow. So incredible. We're going to move on over to Anna and have Anna share some of her story with us. Anna, are you originally from Spain?
No, my family's from Ecuador.
Oh, Ecuador. Okay, awesome. And you teach Spanish to kids, right?
Yes, right now I am teaching part-time and then tutoring children from 5 to 18.
Nice. I love it. Fantastic. And where do you live right now?
I'm near Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, so you're on the other side. We've now moved on to the other side of the country. We came from California to, woo, all the way over there. I'm the middleman here in Wisconsin.
That's fitting. You bring us all together and make us better.
That's right. That's right. Oh, I love it. So Anna, tell us about your journey. How did you get started tutoring?
Yeah, so I was a full-time classroom teacher until I received a pretty gnarly diagnosis, and I stopped working completely. In fact, it was a terminal diagnosis. I'm now in full remission, so that's so exciting.
Oh my gosh.
But when I left the classroom, I did a lot of self-reflection and realized that for me, I really believe that in part the diagnosis came up because of how stressed I was. And I knew that I was a good teacher, but I just couldn't keep up, and there was so much red tape, and it just was not, that full-time classroom was not the place for me to thrive. So I left. I went through whatever I had to go through. I realized that I still had a lot to offer, and I wanted to add value. And so as I got better, I decided, all right, I want to do this. I love to teach. I love Spanish. I love children. But I want to do it in a way where I can keep my sanity and keep my health. Mm-hmm. And that's why I decided to tutor.
So I love that.
Thank you. So before I found you, I had one child that I was tutoring, one high school student who was struggling in her class. And I thought, hey, I really like this. I want to do more of this. I had tried to get students on my own and just realized I was trying to piece things together on my own, doing research on YouTube and on other websites for how to market myself. And I was getting nowhere. And I thought, I need to join a course where somebody can lead me step by step, tell me what to do, because I'm going to have the best success. And when I saw your course, it felt a little bit out of my price range, but that guarantee that I would get a student in 8 weeks it made it a no-brainer. It was like, okay, well, I'll make my money back. So it's not costing me anything.
Right.
And I made my money back within the first month. And within the second month, I made it back 4 times what I spent on your course. Yeah. So thank you.
You are welcome. And that actually is like one of my preferences. Like, I want people to see that you can invest in your education and it can make you money versus the kind of education we were all grown up with. Like, we went to college and we weren't guaranteed a job, and now for the job market, for some people, they're really struggling to be able to get a job. So it doesn't even guarantee that. But then you end up in debt on top of it. Like, your education shouldn't put you in debt. Right? It should be there to be able to make you money. It shouldn't be there to put you in debt. And so my whole goal is to be able to help you guys. So yeah, if you don't get one student in those 8 weeks and you've put your time into the process, right? Like, you got to do your side. Because it'd be crazy for me to make the promise, but then you don't do the work and be like, I just want my money back. Like, well, that's not really fair. Like, I've done my job to give everything to you. And so if you do your job and you do everything and you don't get one student, or at least get one student requesting your services, then, that I would love to be able to give you your money back. Yeah, Elizabeth.
I love how we really emphasize in that way. It's an investment. It's not necessarily a cost in that way. It's an investment in yourself and your business and your future. So, because of that guarantee and because of the things that it can do for you. So that's really awesome.
Yeah. And you guys, for those of you guys who don't know, this is Elizabeth. Elizabeth is like my right-hand woman. I would not be able to do all of this without her. She helps out in so many different ways. She's my virtual assistant, and you'll often see her inside of the chats. You'll see her, putting together, responding to different people's responses. And she also lets me know, like, if there's things that I need to respond to. And she's constantly just, she's like the glue of this whole entire system, guys. And I couldn't do it without her. So, thank you, Elizabeth, for everything that you do. And she found all the people to be able to come onto our call today, like message them. She does so many little things that like people take for granted, that literally you guys just have to know like what a blessing she is inside of my life. She really does a lot and allows me to continue to help out in the ways that I can help out the best as well. So thank you for everything that you do. You are really, really a joy inside of our community. We love having you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
And so Anna, so you ended up, you took the leap of faith. You did it. You were scared, but you did it. And you were like, I don't know if I'm going to make my money back, but she tells me that if I take the actions, she's going to give me my money back. So, all right, let's do this. And then what happened?
And then I started the course, and I was blown away by the book that you have us read in the course, The Compound Effect. And it ignited that, in combination with what you were saying and what our mentors were saying to us, just really ignited this flame within me, got me so excited. And I just did what you asked me to do, and the students started rolling in.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. And then you got to a point where you got booked solid and you couldn't even take any more students.
Yeah. So at about week 5, maybe, I had to stop doing what you were asking us to do for the course, which broke my heart because I love the competitive aspect of the course. And I'm like, but I'm not going to get the points, because if I do the assignment, then I'm going to get more students and I can't take any more, and I don't want to turn them away. So yeah, I did. I got booked solid at about maybe week 4 or week 5. And so now I'm going to take the summer, now that the course is over, and I don't have to worry about letting my team down by not getting points or anything. I'm going to go back and do all the rest of the stuff, because there's still so much gold to be excavated from your lessons from the course.
And you always have access to it too. So you'll have that ability to keep going back to it. Anytime I start a new group, I just copy that course. And then I have released the materials 1 week at a time. So it makes it easier for people to kind of go through and be able to, that gives the people who've gone through it in the past the opportunity to review everything that they want. And it gives the people in the future to not get overwhelmed by seeing all the content at once. Which would definitely happen if I tried to manage this any other way, I promise you. Because that's like one of the things that kind of keeps us from taking action, isn't it? Like when we get overwhelmed. Does that, like, when you're overwhelmed, does it stop any of you guys? Yeah. It's like dead in your tracks, done. I got overwhelmed, done. And it's like you slip away, and it's so easy to start disengaging and doing all of that stuff. So how has the tutoring experience been going with your students?
Oh my goodness. It's fantastic. I'm having the time of my life, and so are my students and their parents. And I've received some of the best reviews. And I'm almost not sure what makes me happier, that I'm actually making an income by offering my services, or the feedback that I'm getting from families. And I know that would not have been the case without your course. And very specifically, one of my families mentioned how they had looked at several tutors, but they chose me because of things that you told me to do. Like having a happy picture of myself and not being afraid to show my face and, to sell my personality, and having the systems in place. So, TutorBird, which is a program you shared with us, does a lot of automation. So parents receive text messages, an email. I set it up so that parents receive an email 24 hours before, and then a text message an hour before. And that came back in the review saying that I was super organized, and that, it's a very professional service that I offer because of all these little systems. And there were a lot more things that she mentioned in the review that came directly because of the actions I took in your course.
Aww. Yes, and I actually shared that email with other people, that like part of that message, so people could see like just this. It's every little thing that counts. Do you know what I mean? And we don't know those things. Like we can learn those things by trial and error, but it does take a whole lot longer to learn it that way versus somebody just saying, "Hey, here, do this, 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 and this." I like the whole checklist model. It works so much better, doesn't it? Ding, got that done. Ding, got that done. All right, got that done. Now what? Now what? And some of the processes we talk about, like get you clients, like right out of the gate, and some of them are things that you can kind of put into place and forget about that they even exist, and they will continue to drive traffic to you, which is pretty cool. So anybody who's on the fence with this whole Jumpstart program, what would you say to them, Anna?
Oh my goodness, just do it. If you have the time, just do it. Or if you want to just audit it and get the information and then do it at a later time, that's fine too. But there's no reason not to do it. If you work it, it's going to work for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. So those of you guys who you want to continue to learn how to create a profitable online tutoring business, come join me on Monday, May 10th. Next week, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the tips and tricks that I teach inside of the course. You're going to get to see what makes a successful online tutor. What are some of the things that you need to be putting into place into your business? Come join us for that. And I promise you will leave with some great information that will help you with next steps with your tutoring business. That's definitely going to help on out. And I am going to see if, nope, that won't work. I'm going to put it in here. You guys could just go to www.onlinetutorcoach.com/profit. And when you click on that link, you will be able to go specifically to the page, sign on up, add your name, your email, so that I can send you the calendar date that you'll be able to add to your personalized calendar. And then you will have the opportunity to join us for that webinar. And it's a great way just to kind of dip your toe in without feeling like you have to invest in a class or anything like that. It's just like, okay, what kinds of information can I learn? What is there anything in my business that I need to improve on? All right, you guys. So I've been sharing Dory's story last for all of this because Dory ended up coming into the program, taking every single action, making the leaderboard consistently, but still didn't have a student. And my heart seriously is like starting to like palpitate when this starts to happen, you guys, because remember I had this money back guarantee and it's like, look, if you don't get a student, I will have to give you. So my heart is kind of palpitating here. Like, come on, like my goal really is to get everybody to get one student. Like really that I really am passionate about this, not because I'm going to have to give you a refund or anything like that. I mean, I know that you're learning a lot of information, but it's coming to crunch time, right? It's coming to crunch time. And this girl she was doing it. So I hold a special call around week 6, just for people who haven't gotten a student yet, to see, okay, what are you trying? What are you working on? Anything we can tweak? Anything else we can do here? And Dory was the only person who hadn't gotten a student yet that showed up to this call. She got a lot of one-on-one time. And then 1 week later, she ends up sending us this message to Elizabeth and I saying, it happened. Remember how you told me it was all inevitable? She's like, it happened. I got a student. And I'm like, yes. I was like jumping out, like the palpitation stopped and I was able to like jump up and down. I was so excited for her. And nothing was even better than that. I remember I was going, my husband and I were going out to eat that night when you had sent the message. And I just looked over. I'm like, oh, you'll never believe this. And he's like, what? I'm like, one of the people that's going through my course, one of the tutors, hadn't gotten a student 6 weeks in and she just got her first student. He's like, oh, that's so awesome. And he was like sharing in the gratitude too. He was so awesome. So with that long introduction, you guys, here is Dory of Miss Dory Tutoring.
Hi, everyone.
So Dory, how did you end up coming on into the whole tutoring world?
Well, I was running a dance school or running my dance business prior to the pandemic. And I had been tutoring on the side in person before that. If I backtrack, I actually worked in corporate in the investment world for over 15 years. And back in 2013, I decided to, it just wasn't where my passion lay, and I wanted to work with people and I wanted to teach somehow. So I left that industry and started my dance business, and then I started tutoring on the side because tutoring is something that I'd done in university and as a side income. And I was like, oh, okay, I could do that now as well. And then the pandemic hit and everything closed. And I had to close my dance business. And yeah, it was sad, but I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do now? And prior to that, I'd always thought of tutoring as just kind of a side thing. I didn't think of it as a career. But I was like, what am I going to do? So at that point, I was like, I got to see if I can make this work. I had no idea if I could, but I started trying to figure out how to build a website. I started trying to do all of these things, and I was doing it on my own. And then late spring, I started searching, are there any tutor support groups? Is there anyone else in the world out there doing that? And then I found Joanne, and I found the ultimate support group for online tutors. And I was like, my mind was blown. My jaw hit the ground. I just couldn't believe all the collaboration and all the incredible tips in that group. But I spent almost a year watching that group and trying to do it on my own. And I was working really, really hard, but I was kind of spinning my wheels a little bit because I didn't know, even though I was working on my website, I didn't know what steps to take. Like I wasn't necessarily putting my energy in the right places.
Yeah. And so then you ended up joining the class, and what helped you to make the decision to join the class? Because of the way the schools here, they changed because of COVID, because of the pandemic. And instead of having full year courses, they decided to do this thing called quad mastering, which is the students will take only 2 courses at a time for 2 months, and then they finish, and then they take 2 more. So just as it happened, I'd had a number of students, and then the semester or the quadmester finished, and all of a sudden I've just lost like 90% of my students. And when COVID hit too, I lost 90% of my in-person students. They did not want to move online. And so I was just like, what am I going to do? And it's like Anna said, I saw the money back guarantee. I'm like, okay. And maybe even though I felt like I already had a website and I already had all these things, I was like, I don't know, is it going to be worth it for me? But I was like, you know what? I haven't got anything to lose. So I joined, and it completely changed my mindset for a couple of things and got me to do a couple of things differently that just changed everything. Mm-hmm. And how did you end up getting your students?
So what's fascinating is they're not all coming from the same way. They're all coming from different places. So that's the most surprising thing to me. One person found me because of a Facebook search, and they found my Facebook page. Someone else actually lives in my building, the same building as me, and they found me from a Google My Business search, or Google My Business came up on their Google search. Another person found me in a Facebook group because they'd posted something and I'd replied. So they were looking for a math tutor. And the last one came directly because of things that I'd done in Jumpstart. And one of the things that was a huge game changer for me is keywords. And even though I had, prior to the course, like I said, I'd been working, and I can't tell you how many hours, Joanne, I put into SEO research. But the way that you look at it, it's so simple, but I didn't think to do it that way before. And it was a huge game changer for me. So what I did is there's local courses in my province. And so I actually put the course names and numbers on my website along with, a math tutor. And so now when people search those courses, I come up in the results. So they find me. Yeah.
Oh
So
gosh.
that's been that was one of the two things that I really got out of Jumpstart. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love it. And it's all about applying. Like you said, so many people, I get this message all the time. If I were to spend all of my time on one strategy, what would it be? And I would say changing your mindset to thinking that it's going to be one strategy that's going to get all your students. Because at the end of the day, it is through trying multiple different strategies and putting some of these different things in place that are going to end up getting you clients in ways that you never thought of before. And if you are just into that limited mindset of I just want to put in my time into one thing, then you're going to miss out on all the other ways that could be driving traffic to you. And so well done for putting those pieces into place and being able to do that. I love how you guys all kind of took something different from the experience. It's like, it's almost like you guys all went through a different course, but you didn't. You all went through the same course. In fact, I even have you guys working with coaches. What was your experience as you were working with your coaches? What was your experience like? And you guys, anyone can jump on in at any point in time here.
I love Esme. She's my coach. She gave me so many practical, valuable tools. The coach meetings were great, but she was there whenever I had any questions or when I was freaking out when I had my first consult and had no idea what to say because we hadn't gotten to that part of the program yet. And she took her time to walk me through things. And by the way, I thought you'd love to know, I have 100% closing rate once I get families onto that consult. So,
oh, congratulations. Yeah. That's awesome. And that's a good use of time, isn't it? Yeah. Can you imagine if you're only able to close 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10, like just how frustrating then the whole process becomes?
Yeah. Between the welcome packet that Esme gave me huge details and guidance on, and then talking me through the consult. Yeah, I have 100% closing rate. So yeah, Esme's the best.
She is. She's amazing. I love her. All the coaches are amazing. They really are. They put so much of their heart and soul into being able to help you guys because they were exactly where you were at one point in time, which is awesome. Oh, Esme just put in there. Woohoo! Love you too, Anna.
And Beth, I know Beth is not a coach, but she's helped me so much too. We've had lots of interaction, video chats, and just chatting and things like that. And she's helped me a ton along the way. With tutoring too.
I mean, we're both Spanish tutors, so it's just been a beautiful connection that we've been able to make and a beautiful partnership. I feel like beautiful collaboration. I love our community that it's so much about collaboration over I mean, we have the fun Jumpstart competition. That's a separate thing, but it's so much about collaboration over competition. Right. And I've just so enjoyed getting to know you, Anna. And I hope you've helped me just as much as you've talked about me helping you. So I hope it's definitely a mutual thing, and I've so appreciated you as well. So.
Thanks, Beth.
And then so Esme just put into the chat, ask Anna how she thought she wouldn't get the rate that she's charging. Yes, please tell us about this.
Yes, I wanted to get $60 an hour, and before joining the course, I couldn't close students at $60 an hour. And I tried with, 7 different students, and they all said, no, that's too much. And just a few weeks in, hearing you, reading the book, and shifting my mindset, that's what I realized was the biggest thing. Now, like I told you, I close at $60 an hour 100% of the time.
Wow.
For the students that I've acquired during your class.
And I want you guys to like really like hear and take this in, because there's a lot of people who would say, oh, but people don't want to pay that for. And it's not true. There are things that you can learn that can turn all of that around. Some of it starts here in our own belief. Some of it starts with the looking at it from the client's perspective instead of our own perspective. It's actually more about like not even trying to sell yourself anymore, but getting curious about your client that you're working with and what they want to be able to get out of the experience, and then providing that for them. And that makes a huge, huge difference.
And
I'm so proud of you.
I remember you thought it was like with the mindset that you were in, and I totally went through this as well, so I can relate, and I think a lot of us can. You thought the problem was your rate, and so I was on the group call that we were working on this, so I can kind of remember this conversation. You were like, should I lower it? Like, should I keep it the same? Should I lower it so that I can possibly get more students, but at a lower rate? We were all like, no, don't lower it. You don't need to. We can help you get more students. And I mean, just look at what's happened now. It's so awesome.
That is amazing. So it's not your rate, you guys. It's not the rate. Okay. Do not lower your rate thinking it's the rate. People only know how to ask one question. How much do you charge? It's not their fault. Don't blame them for that. That's all they know. So if you're allowing them time to be able to ask that question, they'll ask it. They absolutely will ask it, but it's not the right time for them to engage in that conversation about price. And so, when I went to get my, I was going through some health issues, and I was trying to get off a medication so that I could do that. And I went to a holistic practitioner because I was sick of going in and out of the hospital, and going to the doctor's office and trying to solve it that way, because it didn't work. I mean, I had invested 6 months of my life doing that, and it didn't work. So I was going to a holistic practitioner. Now, the very first thing that when I sat down for her consultation wasn't I didn't ask her the question, how much do you charge? Nor did she bring up price as the first thing. Will I charge? Instead, what she did was she did a diagnostic assessment on me to find out what was going on. She talked with me to find out what my goals were, what I wanted to be able to achieve. And then she said, well, I've created this package that I think is going to be right for you. And then she shared the price. And because the package was going to hopefully solve all of the problems that I wanted, I went in. I was all in. And did everything that she asked me to do in that whole entire thing. So it is very important that you guys realize that if you give people a space and a place to be able to ask a question, they will ask that question, how much do you charge? Because it's all they know. It's not because they are trying to price shop all of the time, or that they're trying to look for the lowest price tutor or any of that. There are some places you go where they will look for the lowest price tutor, and we teach you how to get off of those places. We wean you off of them so that you can stand out as an expert in your own right for what it is that you do. How about some other people? What was your experience like with your coach that you had?
Yeah, so Esme was also my coach, and she was really, really inspiring. So like I remember every time we would get off a coaching call, like I would feel really motivated to work on something. So like every time we would get off a coaching call, I would either start working on my welcome packet. I would open up my Instagram, and I thought about it. And I think the reason that she was so inspiring is because she embodied everything she was teaching. Right? She would teach us about how it's so important to put in consistent action every day, to not worry about making everything perfect, optimizing everything from the start, and just to do it and then figure it out as we go. Right? And then hearing that from someone who really embodied it really, really motivated me throughout the process.
Yeah, she really did. And she went through this whole entire program too. So, that definitely helps. Like, she knows exactly the content that you guys are consuming. She went through the entire process herself, and she does. She lives and breathes it in her business today, and she's got a kick butt business in helping kids teaching reading to parents who want to outsource the teaching of reading to her. And I love that. She specifically focuses on those parents that are homeschool parents, because she's a homeschool parent, right? And so she's got a specific audience, and she hones on into that. How about Doria and Brian? How was your experience with your coach?
Suzanne was great. She really helped us, I think, actually similar to what Daniel was saying, in that she helped push me to get out there. So she would actually take some time during our group sessions to say, okay, everyone stop right now. And I want you to write down, your top 3 sentences. So she would get us to actually write. Whereas before I said I was working so hard on the course, or not on the course, on my own, and I was trying to get things perfect, and I wouldn't put things out there. So I felt that Suzanne was so supportive. You could tell she was just rooting for all of us. She wanted us to do well. And the support of the group and all the other members, it gave me the courage to put myself out there, because before I was working, but all that work, like that was a huge mindset change for me, is that if you're doing work but nobody sees it, what's the point? So even if it's not perfect, putting it out there, that's what people are going to see. And that was a complete game changer for me. And I felt that the support from Suzanne and the other team members, and you and Beth, and that's what gave me the courage to be able to go ahead and do that. So thank you.
Yay. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Brian.
So I also was on Team Esme.
Oh, Team Esme! Look at you go, girl.
Not to sound like a broken record, but yes. And just the same thing that Daniel and Anna mentioned. She's walked the walk, super supportive, just really wanted to help us succeed. Was all for us. So she was great.
That's awesome. Don't worry. Team Kathy got represented during the last time. It was like everybody was on Kathy's team. So, if Kathy, if you're watching this in replay, don't worry. Next time you'll have some tutors on here. It's inevitable, right? It's inevitable. You guys are all great. Every single one of you coaches that is on here is amazing. I would love to hear, what was your experience like with your accountability partners? That's a piece that we build in, because research shows that people that work with an accountability partner get better results than people who try to work solo. So what was your experience like with your accountability partner? Anybody have a story to share about their accountability partner?
My accountability partner was super busy. She had a full-time job and was working the course and tutoring, and we still did manage to meet a few times.
Okay.
But our schedules didn't always match up, but we still kept in touch and cheered each other on, and it was beautiful. But one of the beautiful things about this course is that you can have more than just your accountability partner. So actually Doria and I teamed up because we had more similar availability.
Yeah.
And we've been meeting twice a week, and it's been fantastic. She's a friend. Like, we're talking about going on vacation together once COVID is not an issue anymore. But that's been fantastic because we ignite each other and give each other great ideas and proofread and all that good stuff that two minds are better than one.
Yes. And here's the thing, and I think this is so important, is an accountability partner is not a spouse. You're not getting married to them, right? So like if it doesn't work with one accountability partner, there's nothing stopping you from getting another accountability partner, right? It's not a breakup. It's not that kind of a relationship, right? But what I find is once people start like finding out other people that have similar personalities to them, similar goals, and they team up together like you guys, nothing's going to be able to stop you now that you guys have teamed up together. It's going to be what we'll call it the Doriana team. Team Doriana. Nothing will stop Team Doriana, that's for sure. Amazing. I love it. Yes. Pualani says she just talked to one of her accountability partners today. And Jumpstart ended for her in February. And really some of these relationships, they can last long, and some of them are just the duration of the class. Some of them last a couple of weeks, and then you latch onto somebody that's a better fit for you to be able to work with. Because at the end of the day, as much as we love to be able to give everybody the support that they need, some people do start to peter out of the course for whatever reasons. It could be just life issues that are getting in the way, time issues, but those people that do stick with it, they get amazing results. And look at you guys, every single one of you here has gotten amazing results. Okay, so we're going to figure out the hour thing. Like, how many hours are you working now, Danielle, with your students that you got from the program?
So I got 6 more students and I have 7 more hours.
7 more hours. All right. Brian?
8 more students and 8 more hours.
8 more hours. Okay. Anna?
Just from the program, 8 hours. And then
Nice.
I teach and the one I had before. Yeah.
Awesome. Dory? 8 new hours, right?
Yeah.
So that's a total of
32.
Thank you. Oh my God. I love you, math tutors.
Daniel was 6, right?
Daniel, 7.
7. So 31 then.
So we have 8 times 3.
24.
Yep.
Plus
And
7.
7. Yeah. There we go.
31.
31. There we go. 31 new hours of students and work just from 4 people. You guys, this isn't even everybody that joined the class. Okay. We have lots more people. They couldn't come because guess what? They're tutoring. Which is like a great problem to have. And Dory, I so appreciate you she moved her schedule so she could be here and share her story with you guys. So I definitely appreciate that. And for those of you that are wondering when will the doors for this new class open, they actually are going to open on Monday. I'll share more information about the class at the end of the webinar that I'm going to be sharing with you. And the webinar is, again, how to create a profitable online tutoring business this summer. And you've seen it here, you guys. Every single one of these tutors has created a profitable an online tutoring business. Fully online. Nobody say anybody working with students in person at all? Everybody's online. Oh, Anna?
I work with students in person also.
Okay, awesome. So whether you have in-person students or online students, this program can help you. So it's not just about, that every strategy is just for online. Now that our world is kind of opening back on up. Did you notice you had some students that you were working with beforehand in person, right, Anna?
Yes, I do. I have 2 groups, a group of 5 high school students and a group of 6 middle school students. And the high school ones are hybrid. I see them in person 1 day a week, and then they have work that I assign and communicate with them the other days of the week.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. And then as you start thinking about your business moving forward with your in-person students, have some of your thoughts on how to run your business changed?
Oh, yeah. I have plans for next year, having those students online, but then having some field trips, because this is a group of homeschooled students. So they're local, but we're going to move it online. That way I don't have to drive and they don't have to drive. And yeah.
And that then frees you on up to be able to take on some more students as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Which will be fantastic. Oh my gosh. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining us today. And if you guys didn't sign up, those of you that are watching for our free webinar, definitely come and join us. You just go to onlinetutorcoach.com/profit. And I will be teaching you on Monday how to create a profitable online tutoring business, just like these amazing tutors right here. So again, thanks you guys. And everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Joanne.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Joanne.